I'm going to get you to. You have a script there. You don't want to miss anything out. Michelle's going to tell us her health journey, her health story. Going to try to not get super emotional because this is something near and dear to her heart. So please bear with her. She's very nervous to share, but she's very brave as well to share with us. So go ahead, Michelle.
Well, hi, everybody. Thank you very much for being here tonight. As you know, I'm going to share this with you. I have 4 boys diagnosed with ASD, autism spectrum disorder. They are 7, 9, 15, and 18. I work as a flight attendant, and my husband here, Shane, is building a log house for us. So, with our 2 teenagers. And my good friend Jenny, I saw her opening her package. And then Sarah explained to me exactly what this nutrition package was all about. And when I heard about it, I thought, if it's as good as they say, I want all of us to do it. So we went and made the big investment in effort to get this transformation, this ultimate lifestyle transformation. So it's been already a month, and I have a lot of interesting things to tell you. First of all, I would like to say at the beginning that I'm not an expert in autism or a behavioral consultant. I'm just a neurotypical mom with 4 ASD boys. And I hope my story can help other families deal with neurodiverse, ADD, depression, and anxiety. My husband's and children's sensory needs made us take a very hard decision last year. We sold our beautiful house in Surrey, and we moved out to the north at northern BC and bought acreage. And we live now, we know that nature heals. And to us, that was a big value in our family, to make sure we were close to nature, to make sure that our children had that opportunity. The move improved their mental health quite a lot. And, I'll never forget, just before we started to think about this decision, my husband and I, my speech pathologist said to me, Michelle, your oldest son, I'm very sad to tell you this, but I see a broken spirit. And that's when I realized that my husband and I had made the right decision. Our house was on the market, and we moved up north. My poorest son, the oldest son, he has dealt with a lot of rejection, a lot of teachers that were really bullies, and that didn't understand him. We were in ignorance, my husband and I. We didn't know he had autism. Then we had our 3rd child, and our 3rd child, who is 9 now, never slept through the night. He would wake up in the middle of the night screaming and yelling, like a curling scream. And till this day, till we met Piriam, he had never slept through the night. He lived on 5 hours sleep, and then he'd be in our bed, and then at 5 a.m. he'd be up and say, okay, Mom, Dad, let's start the day. And we were like that for 9 years since he was born. But that also, he was the one that started this ball rolling, thinking there's something. When he was about 3, there we realized this was not normal. And that's when we started thinking about getting a proper diagnosis. And yes, he was diagnosed with autism, and then our other children were tested. And they were also diagnosed with autism. And everything now made sense. Now we understood why the crying of all our children when they were young. We couldn't understand why they would throw tantrums like that. And then their cries would be really hard to console. They were always fidgety. They were always stimming. And it was something that was really hard for us as a family. So so after making this big change, our sensory change to be like close to nature, we noticed that we didn't think it could get any better, because now we thought, okay, now the boys have the space. They don't have the city noise. They don't have all this like sensory overload. And until we met Piriam, actually just before that, when we moved and we did this huge effort, we were already out here for 6 months. We noticed that our 18-year-old started slipping into depression again. He was slipping away. And we thought, well, maybe he's just graduated from high school. He doesn't know where to go in life. Our 15-year-old is how autism looks with him. He's a perfectionist, and so very irritable, not flexible. If things were not going his way, it was very hard on us. He was the police officer of the household, and so he would police his little brothers. He polices me until we all start screaming, and then we all start crying together because everybody's fighting with everybody. um, my two oldest sons, they always fight, and my youngest sons are well always fighting. But then we started this journey, ultimate journey. We were already eating very clean, and it wasn't. Um, we knew nutrition was important, and we were already eating very clean, so we didn't understand. I mean, we had faith that this reset was going to do something for us. And you know what? It did. Our oldest son, it's been a month now, and our oldest son is now, there's this inner happiness inside of him that we haven't seen inside for many years. And he has this motivation. He started doing his hobbies again. He is a very bright man, but it's like a mental fog. It's been explained to me by experts. It's like the beta waves in their brain. It's like a noise, like shh, a constant noise in their brain. And now it looked like that fog had lifted from his brain. Um, his motivation started to come back. He started to look happy. Never seen him that type of happiness. My 15-year-old, something that my husband and I noticed, his ability to introspect, to be able to look at, realize what mistake has happened, and realize what needs to be changed, has improved. Before, we would discipline him because he lost his mind, and he would start yelling at us. We would try to discipline him or try to calm him down, but it would be just like, no, 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 but you don't understand me. And now, since we started this journey, he has now started to understand. And before his emotions get the best of him, he starts to calm down himself, just because he is calmer. My 9-year-old has now been able to sleep through the night. Day three into the whole program, he slept through the night, and now we actually have to wake him up. I would tell him he's our new teenager in the house, and he says, "Mom, I'm so proud. I'm so proud. I can sleep now through the night. Are you proud of me, Mom?" And to us, that is something that we couldn't. I mean, couldn't dream of. Our 7-year-old is also extremely. He is calmer. He's happier. They actually, I would say, about 70% of their fights have decreased. And before, it was fights, the teenagers would be fighting and the little ones would be fighting. And so that's gone down about 70%. I mean, that's just my observation. That is just our story. And the other day I took a picture of my son, the 9-year-old, and he saw me posted on our family chat, and he took my phone away, and he's like, "Mom, I didn't know this, but he had figured out how to record his voice and send a message to his family and said, don't you think I'm funny?" He's even starting to understand humor. It's almost like before it was like a mental fog in his brain that didn't let him understand things, but now he's starting to understand. And one thing that I'm very happy about is the Epigenius. The Epigenius is full of vitamin D and other multivitamins. But since they started taking the Epigenius, the little ones, I I give it to them with chocolate, with cocoa powder, and with bananas, and then I blend it, and they think it's chocolate milk, and so they love it. And ever since we started doing that, their palate has even changed, which they've made become more flexible, because now I put so much more effort in making them nutritious meals. Not that I didn't before, but before it was just a battle of survival. Just the same thing: bread and cheese, bread and cheese, bread and cheese. And now we make sure that the bread, we make it ourselves with the whole wheat flour. And that's now we make them salads. And my son has now he's like garbanzo beans and salads and quinoa. And before, no way. But now it's almost like his palate is like being opened up to new flavors. And same thing with our oldest sons. And before, one of them used to sometimes like snack because he would be nervous, but not anymore. It just goes to show how the nutrition is extremely important in the health of a child and their emotions. They'd say that it's been said that they call our gut our second brain because it's so connected to our brain, our emotions. It's connected through the vagus nerve. Scientists have realized this. And so children in the spectrum, they're very hard to deal with. They can be very inflexible. They don't like change. They don't like transition. But ever since we started this, there's still change. They still don't like transitions. It's not a happy pill, and I'm not saying it's a miracle pill. It's a whole program that is organically together. That organically has now made our family feel a lot more content. And as I was saying, like the epigenes is a must. It's got a lot of vitamin D, and I see the serotonin levels in our children go up. They're calmer, they're happier. The Biomed has helped restore their gut health to the point where I see them happier because now their gut, now they can absorb all the nutrients that they're taking. Another thing that's a must for me, I've realized, is amino acids. At the beginning, I was very nervous because I thought, oh no, they don't know how to swallow pills. And now they're like, Mom, where's my pills? They actually learn how to swallow pills and they get so proud of themselves as 7 and 9 year olds. Mom, I can swallow my pills. So, and we just ran out of the Epigenius, and because I made a mistake with my order, and the past 4 days, every morning, Mom, where's my shake? Mom, where is my shake? I say, oh, sorry, sons, I have to, it's coming, it's coming. You know, children in the spectrum, if you give them a routine, they love it. They just absolutely love it. And for us, it's we couldn't be happier with how the results that we're seeing, and that now that we have increased stamina as being caretakers of 4 children, it's extremely important that we have that energy, and now we have our energy. My husband Shane, I don't know what Shane, if you want to share what you've noticed in your since you started. He's here. He wasn't supposed to be here. He came home from work early, but go ahead, Shane.
Well, the thing I haven't noticed that miracle difference other than I've been shoeing horses for about 20 years, and so that really takes a toll on your knees and your hips and your back. And I thought I would have to quit it, but I've noticed that just in this last month that my joints, like in my hands and they're starting to get better. I would say they're probably about 50% better. And I'm at an age now where you do need glasses to read, but I've noticed that my eyesight is better now too. Everything's sharper and clear, and on most days I don't need to have reading glasses. I can read unless it's really small print, and I didn't expect that at all.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that is very interesting about children and people in the spectrum is that they are hypersensitive to emotions. They can walk into a room and scan a room and feel people's energies, and that's really exhausting for them. And now to know that their nutrition helps them to give them that emotional stamina, that they have more strength, that they have more a stronger sense of I don't know how to put it. Shane, my husband, put it really interestingly. He says, I feel like my core is stronger. And so it's an effort. I mean, I beg parents with children with autism or any children that to get rid of the processed foods. It can be very detrimental to our children's health. So this is actually perfect because we can now pack a shake on the go. The kids have therapy to go to, and sometimes we're on the road for a long hours in the day, and now I can just put their shake together, put it in the car, and they're not starving, they're not hangry because I don't have their snacks with them. I'm not substituting the shakes with food; they still eat, but now it's such a big how should I put it? It's a very big it's convenience to be able to have other nutrients in their shake, and so that's very important. And that's just a story I want to share. Another thing that when I started this program that Sarah recommended to get from Purium was the green spectrum and the chlorella greens, and they're actually absolutely essential to detoxify the body of heavy metals from the body. And we've been doing that as well, and also giving them the in focus drops to help them with that, to balance energy and calm and give them focus. And so, for example, in the Epigenius, I did my research, and there's vitamin D in that shake, and that's we can see the serotonin levels going up because their inner happiness has improved quite a lot. The greens, the power shake that my teenagers and my husband and I take has vitamin B12, which has helped them quite a lot. So yeah, that's my story with living with children on the spectrum. There's so many other things we can do, but nutrition is extremely important. And as parents, we spend all this time and energy in taking them to speech pathology therapy. We take them to other types of interventions, but if we don't look after their gut health, if we don't look after the nutrition, the results won't be as good as they can be. And so this is why I'm a big advocate for people with children with autism.
Beautiful. Thank you, Michelle.